お待たせしております。6インビテーショナルのフェーズ優勝への奇跡の振り返りもローワーブラケットに入っておりまして、やっとここまで来ましたね。バータスプロとフェーズというところで。この試合結構覚えてるんですよね。かなり両チームとも手堅いカードの切り合いになって、らしいなという、堅実なチームですからね、両方とも。なのでちょっと渋い試合になったなと思ったんですけれども、改めて見返してみると、かなり高い技術が凝縮された、そんな駆け引きのあった試合だなと思いました。派手な試合がやはり皆さんにも評価されやすいというところはあると思うんですけれども、一番こういう試合の方が一般プレイヤーにとっても再現性が高いので参考になるんじゃないかなと逆に思ったような、そんな振り返りになっております。それでは皆さん最後までお付き合いください。どうぞ。
An open area as well will have those hatches, and as Shepard gets on these lobby windows, his goal is going to be to punish anybody who tries to make a rotate through that hallway. Yeah, we'll see any. FaZe Clan probably going to play this relatively cautiously.
今日はこの配信見たら多分終わりだと思います。ランクするときってさ、2、3時間ぐらいやっぱ欲しいよ。
So they're gonna do some good work starting off on the roam clear, going quickly up above. Buck, DMR by the way.
DMR's real hurt real bad.
なかなかゲームする時間取れねえわ。
DMR's real hurt bad there, brother.
なんだこの謎のクレイモアが。いやでも2個置くのいいな。俺も今度使おう。いや、仕事には戻んないですよ。俺最近寝るのがめちゃくちゃ早いから。23時には寝始めるから。朝6時起きの人なの。
VP like to dot their I's, cross their T's, or whatever the equivalent is in Cyrillic. I'm not sure.
There you go, yeah.
Different language.
モンハンまたやりたいね。
That's the script. That is.
あれでしょ、アップできたんだよね。ハンターランク全然上げられたいんだけど。どうしたらいい俺は。
So much time left. Surely it should work well. Now, mind you, there is a mute on the board, so I suspect things will get maybe a little bit trickier. Some of those drones were afflicted by the jammer, and now they've been fixed by Dan. Dan dropping, I think it was 50 kills in that Raza Company Academy match. He just walks into the middle of the site, ashes the mirror window, and then gets out of there. Goyo can't.
確かにマーベリックここ新しいよな。
For VP to figure out how to tackle this.
ここ四角に区切るってことだっけ。あ、それで壊れるんだ。
Same point in time, Shepard will find an opening pick playing up above.
VP 次どうやって化けてくるかだよな。
That's a Nitro Cell that will be removed from play, leaving only Vidiking with one of those C4s to stop the plant, plus 3 toxic babes and souls.
ランク90いっちゃいました。90って。
There go the babes, always toughing through it, and he gets alive with a tiny point of HP. Vidiking somehow blowing himself up.
Okay.
Well, that's a head scratcher. In Cyber off of the board, Cyber breaking 1,000 kills earlier today, just as Palu and Nesk have done. Palu was actually the last one to join. Nobody right now getting on the board for FaZe Clan because how about
do you have it on replay? That's a tough one.
あ、ハンターランクごめん。シージのランクと混ざっちゃった。意外にやってんね。正直フェーズの銀行昔と比べて弱いよね。守りがちょっと弱いよな。攻撃はまあまあって感じでする。それは取られてるドローン。あ、取られてるドローンなんだね。
Cyber and Shepard exchanging pleasantries on the drones.
The love story.
ラブストーリー。ラブストーリーって言ってる。
friends, but they'd like to be.
Cyber knocked off of the drone.
スーパー順平さん、こんばんは。初めてのチャットありがとうございます。
Find no more success. The pests from Cyber scattered around, but no more have taken control of the attacker's gadgetry.
まあ確かに銀行ってフェーズのさ、そのスタイルには合ってるよね。いや結構堅実にいかないと難しいマップだからな。奇襲の余地があんまりないマップでは正直ある。
Joystick deals with the castle barricades. Both castle and Azami left unbanned on this bank matchup, so expect to see a lot of both operators up here on the top floor, including in this very round. And works his way up square too, aware that there's somebody playing by stock. I believe that's KDS. He peeks the angle. It could be a tight one. KDS ready to take it.
Continuing to poke
うわ強っ。それで忍者になるのか。それは使うな。
They're great with it.
Handy's been
突き下げに対して使いづらいんだけど。
Handy is still retrievable and he is in the middle of the bomb site.
ああ、メイン回勝負したの。
You possibly go get him, but trying to
いや、これ寄れないよね。
Harassed over by long desk. Everybody.
いや、ビタキ今壁越しに打ち込まれてるからさ。おお、よくピックしたねそれ。
The King had a good read on that. Still being antagonized by those bees. KDS
だ
dies.
2V4
Still
なんだよ
bleeding out. Almost dead. That leaves just Souls and Vidiking. As last two
が出た
standing. Down goes Souls. Virtus Pro are so effective
ロビー
at
逆
flushing
ら
out
ペ
these FaZe players. Vidiking with one kill
お強
to his name. Long range dispatches Dan.
お
Now
強っ
over towards main stairs. Are there magnets on these bullets?
No way.
Vidiking now on a single point of HP. Joystick and Shepard last two remain. Shepard
いやで
on
も時
4
間が
kills. He's picked up one in this round.
俺この試合実況したはずなのに全然覚えてない
Only 10 seconds left, and Vidiking looked stuck for a moment.
一番荒れ
Worried
てる
about losing control of that evil.
いやー、
sprays
さすがに。
away, and Joystick gets the job done with the feet.
An extreme pick.
今あれだねトッケビのハッキングがあったから
Yesterday.
一バレちゃっててや
That
れ
is
ちゃってた
side. We are on a rolling schedule, so these matches
ト
will
ッケビの
start
ハッ
at
キングやっぱ
different
強すぎる
times.
よ
Tomorrow's
な
matches will
クイ
be
ズは久しぶり
played
やし
under the same system. So
フェイズファンからさ攻撃下手なのに構想好きなのに未だにだぞ盾が使えるからじゃないか
That's really important. Oh my. Pasha
いや
walking
防
up
衛が弱いよね
spiral stairs.
フェイズしては珍しく
Down goes KDS.
防衛最強チームなの
KDS unable to find a kill so far. Now it's Vidiking under fire over towards Conference. Pasha has another play as he hears those logic bombs. FaZe running for their lives at this point.
うわいいクイック
And he goes for a shoulder peek just to get some intel, and Pasha will give himself away. Now the wall will explode as the Fenrir goes to loop around. Vidiking watched on drone as Handy goes
あー
towards
それいいドローンだ な
We are at the 1.5 minute mark or close
うわいい
to.
カバ
And
ー
again, great drone economy for Virtus Pro. They dominate the kill feed. Cyber so far the only
いやー
player
で
from
も一
FaZe
人カットしてもなんだよ
on the board this
な
round. Very few kills have come out from FaZe through
サイバー
this
って
bit
さ
of
フォロと
action.
リフレックスやっぱ使い分けてるよね
Fully in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and now Cyber and Souls put in a really tough position, both on the main floors. They've got to make something work here because
オレゴンはも
they
う地
know
獄
they're
すぎ
being
るやろ
hunted down. Positions are aware. Cyber caught on a cam. Dan clears them up. It leaves just Souls alone in the 1v4.
Souls really is a terrific player, but when Virtus Pro is on their game, they do not give you isolated 1v1s. Souls will hear one player drop inside of small office.
Ui.
Never mind. They try to double up, but Souls does
今
what
の
Souls
ダブル
does
キルエ
best.
グすぎるだろ
The Blackbeard of always now planting the diffuser as a drone
い
inside
やー
of
これ
open
プラン
area
トは
and
まあちょ
catches
っとい
Souls'
かれるよ
position.
な
Gannon always will now scramble into
ニ
a
トロ
post
もな
plant.
しいやもうちょっと
Scramble maybe
BB
the
残ってる
wrong
時点で
word.
結構
They're
絶
quite
望だよ
confident
な
about this.
でも
Always
読みはいいん
taking
だよねやっ
damage
ぱりね
to his shield. None to him, the person.
まあ車線入っちゃった
Souls fighting spirit.
His clan guard time. That
なんかマップの入り方悪い試合多かったよねやっぱローアーは有観客に行くまで
It's
は
not on blue. Instead, he'll look inside a server. By my count, that means there's nobody actively watching Garage, which is perfect for a Nook to sneak in. They've got one bulletproof camera.
Oh no, he
Do they
even checked the BP.
Do they spy Pasha? They didn't know. Vidiking tries with his own
なつこ
eyes.
さんこんばんはいらっしゃい
Face check is now they'll stack up two players. That's a missed opportunity by Pasha. That should have been a kill. It will continue onwards. 3 players to shut down
3人でい
Pasha.
った
Wow.
If Pasha had a bit more confidence, I think he could have got more than one. He did botch that first engagement, which allowed Vidiking to survive longer than he needed to.
What a commitment though, and I mean FaZe already all their
いやでも
roamers
さっ
are
きから
pretty
パシャ
close
の
to
なんか
back
踏
to
み込みに
site.
結構やられて
They
る
lost Vidiking for that. It was a 1-for-1 trade on BP side. They didn't lose any util. They lost a Nook. Like, who cares? This execute util is still more than ready to come through. You've got flashbangs on Shepard and Joystick. You've got nades on the other two operators. A shield ready to get that plant down and be protected by nitros. I mean, they have all the resources in the world. Demo's track will force this smoke down the hatch most likely, unless Handy is really feeling confident about taking these swings, but I can't imagine he sticks for long, Parker.
Oh, that read as well that we got on him, but got the safety of those elevator doors.
まあある意味
Flash
フェイ
down
ズ
the
のいいと
floor
ころは
below
浮き沈みがないところだから
him. No wish for
ね
where?
メンタル的に
The 1 minute mark and the
まあこの大会に関してはだ
job
けどね
wanted to do that you talked about has
それまでの
been
大会はマジで
really
調子
successful.
よく行き過ぎ
Virtus
て
Pro seemed starved of
いきなり
information
苦
more than
戦
previous
が
rounds. They
現
only
れる
had
と
4 drones
もうマジで脆かったから
well below what we've seen through rounds 1, 2, and 3. Can FaZe Clan withstand this storm? Can Virtus Pro get some information now as all of the Goyo canisters and the delay will come in? 3 toxic babes still in pocket for Handy as well with 40 seconds left.
いや
It's
もうハン
perfect
デは
time
そ
to
っから
cover.
動かねえ
Need
な
a clean kill onto Souls. He's still on the server stairs. Do they even know? They think he's back at the server rack, but he's still on the staircase. At the same time, his teammate Cybers able to clean up that player deep inside of the site. This is so awkward. The Goyo cancer stalls for a lot of time.
Dan is there. Souls
強っ
is indomitable.
そのヘッドショットのリコールめちゃくちゃ強いな。
Collecting his namesake as if he himself is the Undertaker. Handy.
ここもちゃんとダブルピークにやってんだよな。
Straight.
結構今囲まれる前に当たったね。タイムアウトの修正そこだったんだ。
Where Dan just marched into the bomb site, ashed a black mirror, and walked out. That's not going to fly this time.
Well, top floor, it's a very different game, I'll tell you that.
そこで負けるんか多かったね。
All over
本当に。
this window area as we see them start to get popped by the Hibana. Already, this is going to make a bit of a fortress. You put Handy in there on the Azami as well, and it's going to be really tough to find any angles into players that are in that B bomb site. Means that VP are going to have to find some other way to work picks, and hey, maybe going down below is the right call.
Two big changes as well, right? Number one, try to stop them from getting information, and number two, take the fight to
もうちょっと
them.
突き上げ強いキャラ欲しいよね、
Basically
攻撃
through
に。
those 3 rounds. They were not active in the way that they were playing these bomb sites. You saw Vidaking get a little bit courageous. Take an engagement over towards square stairs, or at least want to. Of course, there's nobody from VP over in that area, but still the thought is there. And if FaZe Clan can play with confidence, then they can completely turn this map around. As it stands, Virtus.pro still with quite an advantage, and this is a top floor bomb site. Despite all the FaZe Clan players going down to the middle floor, this is, at the moment, still an upstairs site, and I don't think that's going to change midway through the round, Jesse.
I mean, it's been a drone derby in the site so far, Parker. Brava drones hacking those Evil Eyes, the Twitch drones from Pasha. They've gotten so much value. This has been
仕事しす
insane
ぎ。
with everything they've cleared out.
What is absent on the side of
で
FaZe?
もやっぱ
Jesse?
ショックドラゴン最初の2発だ
There's
よ
no mute,
な。
there's no Mozzie,
チ
there's
ャ
no
ージして
visual
もう
this
一回
time.
使う
They've
っていう
gone
タイミングが
back
結
to
構
allowing
むずい。
Virtus.pro to set themselves up in a way that burned you the first 3 rounds. With that said, you can have all the information in the world. 2 players from Virtus.pro
いや、これ
go
プラント
down.
とか
Now
ある
it's
ね。
Pasha to watch as the diffuser goes off, and right under their noses always hops out
これ
of
で
the window.
ロビー取り返しと
They'll
飛
go
び
to
出
the
しが
post
必要にな
plant
った。
with the Twitch of Pasha not far removed. Shepard has a longer angle over towards lobby, because when you've got 5 defenders still alive, one of those players will go towards lobby to try to cut down the players on the window.
強っ
Souls winning the fight against Shepard. This is going to put Pasha always in an impossible
あ、これ解除できるんだ。
situation. Cyber will go for the long arm diffuse, but it doesn't seem like there's much information. Cyber still sticking this in. Virtus.pro have far too many bodies to stare at. Virtus drugs to the side.
俺この試合実況したはずなのに繰り返したけど全く覚えてねえな。
Open areas, the bomb sites. The shield on the other side as well. Vidaking top floor on the Clash, being supported by Handy on the Azami and KDS on the Castle.
What's at stake in this matchup?
まあさっきソウルズが抜いたのはラペリング側よりも多分ソウルズ側の方が体が見えてる量が多かったんだとは思うんだよ。それにしてもだよ。
Virtus.pro have made their way into the top 12. The winner of this match will play the winner of our
流れ変わっ
game
た
that
お
is
じさん来てるね
going
これ。
on the A stream right now, which is the North American team of Dark Zero battling the Middle Eastern team of Team Falcons. Falcons, the last team here from Mina, still standing. Said at the top of the show that we've bid adieu to all of our APAC teams. There are only 4 regions that remain. The loser of this match, Jesse, they go home.
Uh-oh.
It's very sad. I don't know if the teams are aware yet.
Vidaking hoping that won't be him. He's watching this aggression as Virtus.pro explode to the top floor, but they need to find picks.
Pasha's looking for an opening. He'll get it in a sec. Pasha's had a couple scary encounters here, Jesse, where his aim has been much sloppier than we're used to.
ガジェットの合わせがうまいね、バータスプロは本当
Will go the
に。
entire first half without getting on the board. Shepard
ガジェットの使い方ね、本当無駄がないよな。
right now, along with Vidaking, are very integral
このリ
utility
ソース管理がやっぱりプロと呼ばれるゆえんだよ
Souls
な。
led the way in the killing department, and on his role, he should not be the guy leading your
ちょっとこの試合
team.
ハンディが目立ってないね。
He's a support player. Gets kills in the moment when he needs them, but you should be relying on the others to do it first.
And that's right back to the fundamentals for Virtus.pro. That top floor roam clear worked so well for them in round 3. They just repeat it. The Clash makes no difference. Now they've got 50 seconds, a 2-man advantage. All the hope in the world. Getting past Vidaking will be a
いや、
challenge,
選択肢多いな、
especially
こ
with
れ。
this Blackbeard. If they can just get a crossfire, get behind that
これ広がりを
Clash
差し
player,
役
it
で
is
しちゃったもん。
absolutely doable. All players from FaZe Clan sit in the site.
Top right corner of your screen, Jesse. Only 2 remain for drones. That's it. So Virtus.pro will have to play on instinct And just assume that these defenders are playing in default spots. Souls
うまい。
almost lighting up Vidaking. I
こ
don't
こも
know
無駄の
what
ない
Dan
ガ
was
ジェットの
doing
使い
there,
方。
expecting another
いやー
player
でもソウルの位置がきつい
over
ね。
towards
ハードブリッツされてる
Broken
か
door.
ら、もう車
Those
線入
two
っちゃって
players from FaZe Clan, arm in arm. Handy is all by his lonesome. Hell of a time for an adrenal surge to come in, and the Blackbeard will take an opportunity to get the diffuser down. Handy eliminating joystick. The advantage VP had is gone. Flashes rain in. The Clash stepping up. Diffuser not down. Always cannot go for it. And they run out of time.
Oh my god, he had to
よ
get
く
off
取っ
it
たな
right in
こ
the
れ。
last second, Parker.
Follow up and them out again because VP Clan
Watch fourth. Didn't even hit a king.
left.
ビタキンやっぱ縦抜群にうめえからな。
That's going to be one that at the end of the day, VP are looking back saying, man, we should have had that. Can't be thinking that now, though. It's a new day. It's a new game. We're back on the second half.
Jesse, we should have had that. Is the rallying cry of Virtus Pro in their matchup against Raza Company Academy yesterday.
Yeah, that was a tough game, unfortunately. You know, the one that they expected to win. A lot of the community thought they'd walk away with it, too.
I mean, Raza Company Academy is a team that almost nobody who plays or who watches this game has heard of, right?
Yeah.
Unless you watch Brazil, you probably don't know much about E1. You might not know the history of these players. And you certainly wouldn't know a lot of
決勝とかはスタッツ載せてもらえたら俺結構嬉しいよ。あ、スタッツ見れればね。
Yeah, I will say though, a lot of the
公
teams
式
I
のスタッ
talked
ツ
to,
見
a
づ
lot
ら
of
く
the
ない？
talent that worked Brazil coming into this event, we're high on that team.
編
And
集
they
の
were
時に
saying,
ワン
no,
チャン入れるか
watch
も。
out, this team is going to be scary. I don't know if anybody expects them to go on to quite the explosive
I
start. You did? You did?
試合終わりに出てくれるのが一番い
You
い
had a bold
ちゃんとし
prediction
た
for
やつ。
them?
Fresh came by at the start of this event when we were in rehearsals.
なんだかんだで
and took all
3-3
of
なんだよ
our
な。
winner picks down, and I said Raza Company Academy.
この慌てない能力がやっぱ高かったよな、
Yeah,
今回の
people
フ
should go
ェイズ
review
は。
that clip.
Admittedly, I was not being serious, but I was caught off guard.
慌てない能力というか、立て直せる能力というか。
Yeah.
So far, and it is them and them alone as to why VP is now down in the lower bracket, fighting for their lives.
このさ、ボルカンってプラ
As
ン
you
ト位置
pointed
まで
out, he's a
届く？
rematch from SI last year in Brazil.
On-site being opened up. FaZe Clan have done the same that VP were able to do in rounds 1 and 4, and that's clear the top floor without too much of an issue. It'll be a 5v5 execute with the wall being
こ
open.
れプラントいけんの？
On the defensive side, we still have 3 Toxic Babes from Always and a Nitro from Pasha.
それ届かないよね。やっぱそうだよね。回り込まないんだよね、そこの
Canister's
方
not placed well enough.
No
Souls
way.
manages to pull this off, and there's nothing you do.
俺昔検証したことがあるんだ
No
よね。
smokes from Always, a Nitro cell in back pocket of Pasha. They must have thought he got off of
CGG
the
の方が
plant.
見やすいよね、スタッツ。
All 10 players are still alive, and there's been 15 seconds now off of the defuse. Virtus Pro needs
い
to
や、こ
step
れ
up
限
this
り
point.
なくロックが完成して
Souls
る
with。one kill immediately traded out. Now it's Dan to retake, but the time
うまいね。
so benefits FaZe Clan.
で
It's
も
gonna be a
どさくさに負けて
wild
2回上がった
scramble
ぞ
from Virtus Pro as none of them are in position to hop onto that defuse kit. Coverage from FaZe Clan must be good. His numbers go back to even, but
いや、
you've
だから
got
時間がなさ
3
すぎ。
seconds to hop on this. You are running out of time. Shepard, the only opportunity.
え？
Outdueled by Handy. This is a round going into the history
ハンディなんでそ
books.
こにいるの？
Doesn't matter how many kills you do
降
or
りたの
don't
か？
get.
Was going to deny it because they
ワンチャン降り
were
た
a
の
team that
赤ハッチ降りた
Say,
の
now
か
you know how I feel.
Joystick jumping on the Jaeger
Just
for
like
round
that.
number 8, and he's played a ton of this operator. I mean, obviously Joystick reaching his prime kind of back in the days where Jaeger used to be
い
good.
や、上がりづらいよな、それは。
You might have forgotten that Jaeger's been nerfed a couple of times.
Oh,
And
no,
isn't quite the same
no.
op he used to be, but he's been throwing it back. He currently leads the tournament in Jaeger plays, more than doubling the amount of picks from anybody else on this operator. I believe he accounts personally for 24% of all Jaeger picks at this event, which is absolutely ridiculous. But he's kind of been putting up good numbers with it. I mean, it's tough sometimes. VP haven't had the greatest of defensive halves in general, but of players on defense, I mean, he's been showing up sometimes.
Jaeger is not in the top 20 most played defenders, but Wamai is. And given the way that the magnets function, and especially acting as a way
この車線強いんだよ
to
ね。
stop operators like Gridlock and Capitao,
下が有利な
Wamai
車線だから
provides
さ
a little bit more value,
絶対左側からしか来ないじ
given
ゃん。
Capitao becoming a very solid
俺もよく
flex
そこは
option
待
for
つ
a
ね。
lot of teams.
Before the games today,
まあでも
it was
ソロランクとか
85 picks for
で
Jaeger,
あれなんだよな。
153 for Wamai, and of those 85 picks for
エレベー
Jaeger,
ター
I
攻め
think
するチームなん
20
て
of
ほ
them
ぼい
were
ないんだよ。
just joystick.
How do you have those numbers?
Because that's what I do.
Where did you get those numbers?
You don't need to worry about where I get my numbers.
It really sounds like you crossed your I's and dotted your T's there.
No, I speak it. No, we don't have that in English.
この牙割りは強すぎなんだよな。
I already beat you to it. You can't.
あ、防弾カメラはどうすんのこれ。
Once again, the bomb site's open. It's 5v5. Can they stop a 5v5 plant this time on the side of Virtus Pro? Surely they're more diligent this time around with 3 toxic babes in pocket.
いやー、お互いに達人の間合いすぎて絶対見てること読んでるじゃん今の。
I mean, they knew they messed up last
なんか
time.
単純にプラントに行けないぞ。どうすんの。
You don't allow a bank bottom floor plant to go down with everybody still alive.
I go to those ADSs, by the way. Second Candela.
いや、ADS 座れました。
It did get that one indeed. Shepard is a target dummy at this point. KDS trying to get through it. He will do so, taking some damage from that razor wire. Joystick with 1 kill. Dan traded out. Diffuser going down. KDS is losing his allies. Handy and Souls are doing their damnedest to try to keep this one close. As now the Twitch of Handy is inside of gold. Always following up to secure the kill. And now, what a turnaround.
しかも弾数の少ない火花。
players from FaZe in the post plant. It's just 1. KDS was successful to get into the bomb site. Souls has been superb, but he'll have his work cut out for him.
It's winnable.
There's hesitation from VP. They're sitting on the diffuser. He'll be compelled to action. Souls. Souls.
ああ、カジ聞こえてないんだ。
Souls. Hey.
今カジしてんの聞こえてない。
The mark is going to be around 8 because that implies that even if we go all 15, we are definitely past the halfway mark.
メジャーまで言うと分かんないんじゃない。CGX だいぶ勢力差あると思うけど。ただ、リロードはブラジル勢がまだ強いんじゃないかなって気がする。地元ホームだし。
Well, we are also definitely past the halfway mark of regulation.
Sure.
There you go.
It's implied by my statement, but sure.
Open interpretation.
No.
Half of FaZe's drones have been removed in the first minute of action. Walking up. That drone work, the E1D, not effective to find Kasha, who's tucked inside of an elevator. Dan with one. Could have had a double swing as well, as FaZe clan wanted to get in the building, wanted to take up space. Now Dan will gamble on the remains of his life on a long-range engagement over towards the square. KDS decides, why not? That window might as well be a clown car, as more people emerge from it than you would have thought. Vidaking on that long-range window in lobby, miles away from the bomb site, will pick up 1 kill, and Dan's defense upstairs is very successful.
Yeah, but I mean, Vidaking trades Dan. He should have been holding the angle so that Dan couldn't get away with that second frag.
You tell him.
He knows.
We talked to Souls in the post round before. I don't know if Vidaking gets the comms from us piped right into his headset, but he's aware now.
He obviously just got bad timing on that cross, and Dan gets away with murder. Now it's a 2v4, and if you're FaZe clan, I don't know what the answer is supposed to be here. Soul's hunting for a pick down to the basement. There's nobody down there, nobody to find. Could rotate up main stairs and maybe catch somebody like Pasha off guard, but it's not going to be easy. Vidaking is over that direction as well, taking the 1v1.
ああ、これエレベーター引かそうとしてんだ。
This is smart, actually. He's going to force him to drop.
It's not just that, right into the waiting arms of Souls now with those 4 drones remaining from FaZe clan. It's uncertain
これを狙ってたんだね、今。
how many are active. We know 1
とりあえず浮いてるところ1枚ずつだね。
This is the exact same spot that
時間が
established a drone in the
残り
past.
30。あ、ハッチダイブ狙ってんの
Now
か。
here from Vidaking, and they've got a read
おさぎ見えた
on
ね。
the Azami who's
時
crouched
間間
behind
に合う
people
か
next to a soft wall.
足の遅いゾフィアさんだぞ。
Done. The intel from Vidaking.
Souls is going to kill from above. Watch this. Let's watch.
This is going to be 2 free picks.
There's only 10 seconds left. Never mind, he goes for the rotate.
いや、リロードしながら入っ
The
た。
bomb site. It's a 2v2 now. Virtus Pro killing the defuse planter. Souls looking for another miracle. He almost clutched in this spot before. But he runs out of time.
よう作ったけどな、2人で。
Keep an act.
よう作ったな、今の。
Today, Zero was played 10 times and had a horrible 30% win rate, which is, that might be the lowest win rate of any op at the 6 Invitational.
ゼロいいよな、やっ
So
ぱり。
congratulations to Zero.
I guess he's about as useful as his name.
That was good. That was good.
ノーリスクで仕分けるの強いよな。
Please write it down. I need accolades.
I feel like a lot of kind of casual players think that Zero is very good because you can. Cameras are great, right? It's nice seeing these cameras, but obviously it doesn't see a lot of play because, well, every
アーマーパネル
game
壊すのが
two cameras
結構大変なんだよ
so information on an attacking operator's primary gadget isn't the most valuable in the current meta. Same reason why Yana is pretty much never picked.
We have not casted a Yana as well.
I lied, actually. She's the exact same win rate as Zero, 30%.
いやー、これ強いね。
It's not good.
No.
It's really not good.
But on this map, often you can make it work.
The one thing that the Sam cams had changed, the Argus cams, is that they no longer immediately stick out. You can activate them on the other side, so you can keep them in a position where they're concealed from the defenders and activate them at the right time and place. We saw that Handy wasn't doing that. He was actively using them. Gain information right now, why don't you? FaZe maybe going for a swing.
いや、ちょっと浅見が重いんで。
Scan, Handy dies, Joystick dies as well. That's the experiment.
いや、うまい。
as good as gone. Pasha and Dan colliding.
今、2人で釣ったもんな。うますぎ、パシャ。180対応した。ビタキン、情報取れたの？今いい打ち込みだったな。
Three remaining players from Virtus Pro don't need to move a muscle. There's actually a castle barricade in pocket for Dan. How funny would it be if he pulled that down? He doesn't have time. No.
He's playing that move found on the too often. Put on bank.
The first, no, because then they would be a piece of meat.
Okay. Well, I mean,
it'd be like a big.
I think like a piece of salami is a better garnish than like another piece of bread.
I think my point still stands.
Okay.
It is currently a sandwich, though, in regards to the round count. 3 rounds for Virtus Pro, 4
4
for FaZe,
ここで。
3 for VP. Point that I made. I was
ここで
just
地下取れるの
trying
でかいな。
to be a bit more theatrical.
Joystick back on his favorite operator, the Jaeger. Truly, it got good value, catching multiple Ying Candelas in the basement the last time they played this site, and he's got the setup just as he did before. So, hoping to get that same value out of this operator, but of course, it didn't result in a round win last time they came to this bomb site. So, they're hoping to get a little bit more done on this offense. They're hoping to be able to get some kills and they get that defuse gun on the ground. And part of that game plan might be trying to hit the back a bit. Open some more of these hatches. Apply some more of that pressure. Dropping gold, dropping elevator. These are kind of weird surprise plays that often will catch defending teams off guard.
Nice entry by KDS as Dan did not expect the Blackbeard through that window.
いや、今のいい読みだよな。ジレ待ちだもんな、今の。
It was so quick that I actually missed it entirely.
It's some kind of opening, surely.
ダンからするとイラッとするだろうな、今の。ちょっとエリアの情報を取りに行ったらやられちゃった感じだからな。
Shooting at a barricade, I would be fuming at that point.
いや、これ、食堂も壊されたからちょっときついぞ。
And the Zoto canister from the Tubrow as well.
ボルカン壊せなくなったじゃん。
Excellent this game, Parker.
フラグ1個。
You see how fast that
あ、
thing
まだ残ってた。
It was zooming.
あ、これ2個壊されたよね。
Handy looks like he got
ボルカンあんまり壊さないこと
one
なかった。
two gadgets with the second. That's not great.
エレベーター攻めなんだよ。
With the first, because he got the ADS and the Zoto.
Did he get the Zoto?
I thought so.
うわ
That's not terrible.
No.
Typically, you want to get more than that. A drop will come in over towards red. Vidiking, the very first one.
あれこれ、ワンチャン。
Virtus Pro not moving a muscle.
Hello?
They've got a read on one. Joystick will have to fight his way out of this position.
One chant耐えたね、ジョイスティック。
Double up, one by elevator, one by stairs. Now one inside of red. As down goes Souls, firing back.
今のハンディのポジショニング完璧やな。BB 強いな、やっぱり。BB の圧が半端ないわ。ジュンさん、こんばんいらっしゃい。
Much of SI, I've been very happy with the amount of third maps we have received. This is one of those games, Jesse, where I will be upset based on storyline and the gameplay up to this point.
久しぶり、この壁、バコバコに壊してる。
End this on Clubhouse. I want to end it on Clubhouse specifically for one reason and one reason alone. One of the most historic matches played at the Raleigh Major was between the old FaZe clan and Team Empire. And Clubhouse was the best map for Team Empire, the spiritual successor.
何度も言うけど、この試合、俺多分実況したはずなんで、本当に覚えてない。実況してないのかな
And not only did they pull it out of nowhere, they dominated Team Empire and held them to a single round. FaZe Clan did ultimately end up losing the matchup, but it is one of the most memorable clubhouses we ever had. The saga between these two teams will continue onwards, but what a map for this to end on.
まあでもスコポス理にかなってるのか。
FaZe Clan have played Clubhouse a few times since that event. Be more prepped for it this time around. Both these teams shown quite a few VODs at this event.
あ、今妖怪との探したね。
Run through the lower bracket. Another slow one as it burns on the basement.
Trevor, there's nobody there.
Not currently, but you never know when a rotation might be made. But it's going to be a default server plan. as we've seen time and time again, the last round being the sole exception, Souls wants to get this defuse kit down and he wants to try to dodge those nitro cells.
今回は家がいないから
First
取る
wave will go off. Souls does not have the HP to suffer through it, so
ガスグレあと2つか。これ結構防衛有利や
this
な。
rhythm that we see between these teams will continue. No damage at the
いや、こ
moment.
れ詰めないとプラント無理じゃね？
Honestly, it seems like Souls is the only player on FaZe Clan at this point. Where is the supporting coverage?
あ、投げ切
Cyber
っ
is
た。
pointed, staring at the stairs, waiting for a flank. They're controlling the hatches in open area, but they gotta get more active.
Just waiting for those toxic babes and they're gone now.
Dan slaughters two of them. Souls and KDS will dive and
Dance.
drop through the hatch. The
no.
sight will occur, always with a pick. As Vidiking drops, it's Cyber in a 1v5. It started with a flawless round. It won't end with one, but it's as close as you can get.
いい試合だったけ
Cyber
ど、
gets one kill on the
終
way
始
out.
バータスプロのペースやったな。なんかあと1枚カードが出せてない感じするね、この試合見るとフェーズ。2マップ目行きましょう。
Makes them a little bit more comparable than you'd think.
Virtus Pro starting on the defense.
これが
You're
フ
gonna
ェーズピッ
expect
クの
them
構想
to win on these top floor bomb sites. They have yet to lose a top floor defense on Skyscraper since the tournament started playing this map just once earlier at SI. That was up against W7M in a 7-3 domination earlier on.
あそこの
So
数
if they
字
can
ゲートいい
repeat
な。
a success like that, of course, they'll be continuing on through the tournament. It's going to be an extension from Dan over here inside of Exhibition. He's got Joystick not too far behind him as well. The Candelas start to push him back, but hasn't gotten to a direct gunfight. Watch out for Pasha 2 playing by Minibar, as they are refusing to give up this side of the map. FaZe Clan at a minute 30 need to start making some decisions. Are we really going to commit to taking these gunfights to clearing up these players? Well, at least find Joystick.
Nice start for FaZe Clan to draw first blood in round number 1. It was really even between these teams on bank to the point where I think VP had the advantage by a single round, which would be 7-5 technically. But I mean, first blood was not a huge factor in that matchup. Now it's Pasha with a kill, and he's on the run inside of Terrace over towards Drum to get out of harm's way. Down goes always as FaZe Clan's right now roam clear, proving to be much more successful than an awful lot of their attacks on bank.
This has been clean so far. You can tell this is their pick. Not an easy map to go for the roam clears, but they've done it pretty successfully.
いやー、ハサミができてるけど、このパシャの位置だな。
Towards the site, but Pasha a little bit aggressive. I say that. Dan down below too finds a freebie as Handy crouch walks his way right into his crosshair, and Pasha missed by these bees.
Give him confidence. Pasha almost missing. He's aiming above their head. I don't know if he thinks that the models have shrunk or not. Now it's Souls in a clutch or kick scenario. He was in 3 of these exact same positions on bank, and well, his way down backstairs will be cut off for the next 20 seconds. That will left him with 10 seconds on the clock. So he has to go around. Does not have access to that diffuser, and the 3 players from VP still upright are going to make his life living hell. He'll go for a kitchen drop, and is immediately punished by Dan. You've finished the...
硬い入り方ですな、バータスプロ。
In fact, the next closest map is Border, and it's been played over twice as many rounds as Skyscraper has. Skyscraper's been played on 62 rounds.
まあここまではセオリー通りなんですが、割れてどうぞ。すごいね、リージョン、フロスト、メルシー。どんだけ止めたいんだ。
This bomb site and this map in particular. Virtus Pro will use that to their advantage.
And under a lot of pressure, he's facing a ton of different angles.
世界大会後は一定期間大会試合をチーム内で見れるシステム作った。俺はあれ、配ってほしい。マッチリプレイのデータ。シームレス。
Bottom of the standings back in map number 1.
ハンディの視点とかどうなってるかずっと見てたよ。
To be very strong. There's a frost, by the way. You want to take a look down there, Handy. Maybe you'll see it. He's going to have that deep caught as Shepard always and Joystick on the board. Pasha, the only player standing that will have no kills up to this point. Do they give it to him and get a belated team ace, given that Dan is dead? While he was dead, though, his frostmount was the thing that was on the ground, Jesse, and it was mighty instrumental in slowing down FaZe Clan.
硬い守りを崩せず。
16% of the
いや、
time.
マッチリプレイはね、マジでアップデートされるごとに使えなくなるっていう、結構もうゴミみたいなシステムになっちゃったからな。配布も途中でやめちゃったしね。そういうの大事にしてほしいんだよな。本当に e スポーツとシームレスになりたいのであれば。CGX はもう本当にかゆいところに手が届いてれば CG って完成されてる神ゲーだからさ、いけると思うんだよ。ね、ゲーム内で完結してほしいよ。だって前のマッチリプレイってさ、わざわざデータダウンロードして指定のホルダーに自分で入れないといけなかったんだよ。インストールしてる指定の中に。でもマッチリプレイをさ、ゲーム内でシームレスにすることによって CS ユーザーとかも見れるようになるよね、マッチリプレイ。今まで PC しか見えなかった。そういうのやってほしいよね。マジシャイコの視点とかずっと見てるだけでもめちゃくちゃ勉強になると思うんだよな。
Keep an eye on that going right into the round.
Another again. He was obscured
いい位
initially
置に仕
by
掛け
the
てるね。
so he did not know that somebody was there. Always swinging out. Dan with one kill, always traded out immediately. As it seems like FaZe want to reposition very fast. They're looking for an opening onto the backside of the clash. Down goes Joystick. As finally FaZe clan are able to sink their teeth into this Virtus Pro defense. On the flank though is Shepard. Is there a set of eyes from FaZe staring in this direction, or can Shepard have a disproportionate impact on the ebb and flow of this round? Cyber is on a drone, completely oblivious. Shepard with one kill because that Dan dies, and now even more on the clash. And Shepard is the last two standing for Virtus Pro.
Shepard's got to get back to site, surely. He is still top floor, but Posh is in a world of hurt. Shepard says, I want to keep going. This is uncharacteristic from the support player of VP, but he's just not done.
He's fearless, and he might get rewarded for it. Down goes the Grim of KDS. Two more players in close proximity. One now down below Handy. Standing sentinel from above. Pasha in a 1v1 against Souls.
Handy, どこに目がついてるんだ問題。強い。ハンディ音聞きすぎだろ今の。めちゃくちゃうめえな今の立ち回り。全部ほとんどハンディが刈り取ってくれたぞ。うますぎ今の。今のだって味方がさ抑えてほしいところ先回りで全部ハンディが拾ってったよね。今のうますぎるな。やっぱハンディか。
Yeah, VP
derisively referred to as the Cybertruck site.
One of your favorite vehicles.
It's so ugly.
We just walked past the Cybertruck actually the other night, and you were like, "It's kind of cool." You were like, "I might buy one personally."
None of those things escaped my mouth.
You were like, "I own two already, but third."
Wow, I didn't know Blast paid me that well. Dan sustaining some damage now with that cursed reticle on his gun, and it seems like everybody on the side of the above their targets. Dan just had some issues with the drone.
カバーライン読みで外飛び出したんだけど。
Who is unrelenting in his approach towards these VP players. Halfway point of the round, and FaZe clan have found first blood.
You might just be happy with that if you're VP, to be honest. You've delayed 90 seconds. It's still a 4v5. This is a very defendable bomb site for Virtus Pro, so they can sit on this, and the util's a little scary, but only one Candela left in the pocket of Handy. Some Bs still from KDS, but those weren't too effective last time. No more flashes from Vidiking, no more nades, only one flashbang on Souls. They did have to use a lot of resources, and two drones as well. So VP leave, not with a man advantage, but after wasting a lot of the util in the pockets of FaZe.
Just wait up time at this point. Joystick will go down below as KDS eliminates always. The situation for Virtus Pro will go from bad to worse as KDS is taking no prisoners. He's eliminating everybody inside of the server. He heard us talking about his performance on Bank, and now all they need to do is stop Dan as he ascends those back stairs. Down goes Vidiking. Diffuser in the hands of Souls. FaZe clan will successfully get the objective down. And Dan will have to contend with 4 Brazilians.
スパッツフェチマスターさんこんばんは。久しぶりじゃないか。
Rank stack. So painfully accurate, and it really hurts when you're playing and somebody disconnects and you're like, "Oh, I got my kill."
Yeah.
Let me have my frags in peace, man. take what I can get. It's hard out here.
ジョイってこれだけリフレックスだっけ？
Speaking of this setup, really giving up Geisha in this side of the map. You can tell with their barricades that they've created kind of a line through this map where they want to hold on to Drum, they want to hold on to Dragon, but no farther. They will not be playing inside of T or Karaoke, but they probably have some sight lines. One barricade, two barricades, they break through them. It's a third barricade that follows up Handy. He shoots this one as he knows it would be a little dumb to punch it. Here comes the Mav playing now. Does he have any teammates with him to shoot this? I don't think he does. After some aggression.
Typically, you want to open that up and
いや、
have
強い。
somebody there to deal with it. Joystick
今の
controlling.
さ、頭の位置、本当にちょっとした横なんだけ
So
ど、
effectively, down goes Handy.
マイクロフリックって言えばいいの
KDS
か。
searching for a kill. He was
細かいやっぱり
terrific
マウスの
previous
使い方が
round.
本当にうまいよ
Great
ね。
moments on bank, but has been
ジョイさん
relatively quiet so far here. Down goes KDS again to joystick inside a drum. Everything is a drum,
で
including
もすでに
joystick.
攻撃で2本取ってるからフェーズ OK みたいなとこあるな。
Always gets taken down by Vidiking as FaZe Clan are keeping these numbers very, very close. Now Cyber
車線通ってんだ
sustaining
よ
some
ね。
damage inside the site. It's all up to Dan. The supporting cast so effective.
Nice cover.
Dan is finished off by Soul.
Into their time with each
急にパッション出してきたな、このセカンドマップ。
Well, he's caused
銀行
them to
淡々と
suffer
や
in
つ
the
だ。
silence. In a perfect world, those support systems would be fully funded, but we do not live in a perfect world. So kudos to Jack for taking an opportunity to highlight mental health issues while also celebrating a player in this game getting a monumental achievement, which is an ace, all 5 kills.
It's a win-win.
Win, win, win. It's when you win, I win, and we all win.
Virtus Pro desperately need a win in round 6 because they are otherwise losing their defensive half on Skyscraper, something that should never be
3本
happening
取れて
on
んじゃん、
such a
FaZe
defender-sided map. FaZe Clan posted outside the building and his joystick back in his regular post. Hit some beauty shots. The exact
ジョイボ
same
再び
setup,
ド
by
ラ
the
ム
way,
守
from
り。
VP. They looked at that last round and thought, we did nothing wrong. We're just going to run it back. This time we're going to win our shots and we're going to walk away with the victory. Dan's been setting up with that shield over by Dragon. Joystick still in drum. That crossfire onto the hallway is going to be the main power position that FaZe Clan need to address. If this goes the way of VP, they'll be put in another difficult situation where they got to decide, do we just go for sight?
ナイスピークになるか。なった。
Nice shot on the KDS.
いや、マジで一瞬でも見えたら逃さないよね。
Joystick doing his damnedest to
うぶてんぶやな。
ensure it is repeated, but I fear at this point the numbers do not benefit Virtus
あ、で
Pro.
もこの展開方シールド重くない？
You got to take at least 3 rounds. 4 is the goal.
懐かしいな、この
3 is the
ADS を
best
言
you're
っ
going to
て。
get, and right now 3 looks
うわ
unobtainable
先に現地刺され
for
た。
Virtus Pro as they've
段の
lost
判
2
断が
players
求
in
められ
very
るんだ。
quick order.
行くのか引くのか。
Kill Vidiking though.
And Dan's still in a really powerful position too, playing on this shield. He is refusing to leave as he sits on his post.
どうまとめるんだ。ああ、現地に行かせた。
FaZe Clan, not as aggressive as
早
last
めに動
time,
かした
but
ね。
slowly working their way around the bomb site. Handy goes over towards the exhibition window.
いや、パシャが結構限
Asha
界
in
っぽい
sight might need to respond to that at some point. If he hears him jump in, the Candels would make that awkward.
うわ、いい感じだ。
Completely blind for Pasha, so he'll stop firing. Why not? Why give yourself away at that point? Cyber's there for backup as the Goo Mine is hit by Souls. Damage is being done. Dan shooting away, always losing that engagement. And Handy and Souls are both
Pasha
dropped.
耐えた。
Things were going so well for FaZe.
よう耐えたな、今。
Candels were down. Order was perfect.
結構限界っぽいじゃったけど、情報取り切れてなかったっぽい感じはしたけどな。
Think like, oh, maybe it's the same team.
そう、
They
3
just all
本通れ
swapped
て
jerseys
る
and
攻
logos
撃。
and
強
got 2 shots at the tournament, but that's actually not what happened here.
Lots of plastic surgery, completely different names and identities. They're actually all in witness protection. I've said too much. Their cover is blown.
Not again.
It's the first time. Don't say anything. Don't blow the cover. EMP will go off, and they have missed that electric claw.
Oh.
They missed it again.
Did the same spot?
It sure
Where is
looked
it?
like it. Yeah,
カイドだったのちゃんと見なかっ
Is it over to the right?
Might be on the roof somewhere too.
た。出た。
Oh,
Sneaky in the pot.
Very good.
ルーフって言ってて屋根
And
に引っ
that's
掛けてん
why,
のかみたいなこと言ってた
honestly,
けど、分かって
pocketing
なかった。
EMPs kind of sucks
それで
sometimes.
おーって言
If
って
you
た。
are up against Electric Claw, oh boy, and you don't have an IQ, that's tough.
KDS with the pistol out. How on earth does he win that duel? Pasha ends up getting the kill before traded back immediately. Joystick on that Finka. Russian player, Russian op. Why not? He's got 2 adrenal surges. That won't do much for Pasha, who's in the grave. But Virtus Pro with the advantage right now as Cyber and Souls are both gone.
A rare
ダブ
double
ル縦に
shield
フィン
play,
カ
by
強
the
え
way.
な。
Stunted for the meantime, but they've still got Dan up on the Blackbeard.
Honestly, so bizarre seeing Virtus Pro on shields. It's just, it's so striking.
Welcome to the new era.
I know. Down the electrical.
There's two there. Wow.
There was.
That's
So
tough.
they might have actually got the first
well,
one.
the
They might
hardwood
not have
is even
accounted for the
showing
one that was inside of the pod.
Mm-hmm.
4v3 now, just a little bit under a minute to go. Joystick picking up the diffuser and will likely use an adrenal surge before he tries to get the case down. There is some anti-plant denial. Wherever those Goyo canisters set up by KDS will slow down the advance from VP, and there's a nitro cell in pocket for Handy.
Yeah, it was good clear of the bottom floor, but they're taking a long time now to reset. It's going to be a chaotic finish. One rotating over towards Black. That'll be Joystick with the fuse kit. Gives him some good plant positions, but as you mentioned, Goyo canisters and, of course, the nitro from Handy as well.
Always and Dan now ascending these back stairs. Flames running out in front of them, looking for a line of sight deep into Geisha. There's soft walls right staring them in the face. Is that Handy in the hallway? Firing through, but that's a hard wall. They trade out.
Crossfire
Advantage right
が
now for
熱すぎる。
FaZe Clan
時間が
running out
な
of
さすぎ
time
る。
if you're Virtus Pro. Where are Joystick and Always going? Joystick needs to get into the site. He has 1 second. Always in Handy in a 1v1. Down he goes, and Handy with
うまい。
that 6-shooter.
落ち着いてるなー。てか、音聞きがえぐいな、ハンディ。今よく壁越しに分かったな、あれ。ピン立ってなかったよね。立ってたっけ？
So maybe let's try something different. The Nook from Joystick being pulled out to try to sneak something under the nose of FaZe Clan. This is honestly a good play. I like a Nook walking up house stairs at default, 2 default cameras you can walk right past. It can be a really sneaky play if anybody happens to be playing over towards that part of the map. I'm not sure anybody is from FaZe Clan though. Seems at this moment that they're all more focused on the Geisha side of things. This is where a lot of pressure is.
Pasha's looking at that terrace window. If there could be a jump out.
いいニドロ。
Just that was a bit too early and could have actually aided Virtus Pro, frankly. If he'd waited about half a second, it would open up the wall for them. That's
こ
terrific
こ
stuff. Wouldn't it
ト
be
ーチで開けるの結構怖えよな、やっ
key
ぱな。
ammunition. KDS tries to get out of there with his life intact. He succeeds, but he takes some damage in the process.
さあ、ジョイスティック。
All the while, tension has been over towards
いや、
Geisha.
これ面白いアプローチ
Joystick
だ。
looks
あ、
over
バレて
towards
る。
Dragon. Vidiking thinks somebody is coming, and he's prepared and waiting for
読みか。
it. Cyber eliminating Shepard
飛び
on
出した。
the jump out. That was the window on Terrace that was being watched by VP
カバー入れられず。
earlier on. Joystick looked like he was on a collision course with Vidiking on those stairs. Instead, now he'll go over towards house side.
ずっとショッ
Back
トガ
to
ンで
the
待って
main
んだよ
stairs
な。
he goes.
いいフラグ。
Grenade will go off. Vidiking maneuvered
いや、でもこれ
away
で来る
from
ことが
that
分かっちゃっ
position. And down will go.
た。いや、そうだ
How did
ね
the。grenade not even get the mute jammer? What did
いや、
he
まあ、
get
ここは
at
犠牲を
all?
通して詰めたんだけ
Things go
ど、
from
弾が
bad
思った以
to
上に詰められて
worse
な
for
い。
Virtus Pro here. But Pasha finds one, almost finds another over towards the stairs. And Flash will go out to buy him some time, but with this bomb site being on the other side of the map, Handy can do so much damage. He lets the Blackbeard go by. 9 kills for Handy. 10 kills for Handy.
おお頭じゃないんだ。
Almost 11, but Vidiking will get...
Handy, no Joystick.
いや、こういうぐちゃぐちゃの盤面にされると、バータスプロマジで弱えよな。
Play danger.
Is aired. Unfortunately, it's only a 5.
FaZe は逆に落ち着いてさばいてる。
But again, just for the circumstances, it's going to be tough for Virtus Pro to pull this one back. Now, they'll get their best opportunity here. Kitchen and Barbecue, one of the weakest sites that we see on the map. The main opportunity for attackers to get round wins. It's where FaZe Clan got their first round of the map. Joystick through the top floor, and it's Barricade City once again.
I remember casting a qualifier one time with one of those goofy all-pro quals we did, and it was Oregon, and one of the teams reinforced and barricaded every single way to the actual bomb site down on the bottom floor. They had to go through like 6 doorways just to get to the site. It was really quite absurd. It will slow them down.
どう守んだ？ああ、結構不退転の
In our
決意守
matchup
りだ
earlier
ね、これ。
today, I said, you don't want to barricade everything.
And sometimes you don't, but sometimes it's good for information. So it's situational for sure.
いやー、バータスプロらしい、じっくりとエリア取りに来てる
top
ね。
floor. 90 seconds elapsed, but it's Vidiking the first to fall to Dan.
This is a very critical round here for Virtus Pro and for their mental. You know that VP can get very down on themselves.
リージョン。
They fail here, knowing that this is the most defender-sided map. That might be curtains, but they're putting up much more of a fight than we saw in the previous round. They had a good opportunity in the first round of the second half, but fell just short because of the clock. some trepidation on the side of Virtus Pro.
ハンディいい位置入ってんだよな、それ。
Fortunately, that speed, that sluggishness, it cost them. They've got Pasha down. Virtus Pro might be able to retrieve him.
The rat is ratting again. He just did this
Oh,
last
kabashita.
round, Parker. They don't know he's here.
ハンディが一番きつい車線かばしてくれたの。ハンディバレてないんじゃないか。
Vault in now. Where is Andy?
They check it with the Blackbeard, they might survive.
He's playing this
ハン
rotate.
ディめちゃくちゃバレてない可能性ある。
Karaoke. Oh my.
あ
Pulls trigger a little bit too soon, so he's giving himself
Ah.
away. Always.
絶望の
Adorns
BB
the。walls with the blood of Handy.
時間は稼い
Very
でるから。
graphic imagery, but a moment befitting of it. Two remain, KDS and
Souls
Souls.
いい位置にいるな、それ。
15 seconds to go. Virtus Pro doubled up in numbers. Souls could easily catch one here. The greater issue for
どっ
VP
ち
is
か
going
に
to
プ
be
ラン
that
トに来るは
diffuser
ず。
again. Maybe a bit too slow. Shepard
シェパード分かって貫いてった
Pause for a second.
いやー、ハンディのとこの BB が面を分けたな。
Managed to check, make more success. Hold down the floor.
あれ BB じゃなかったらね、キル取れて盤面だいぶ変わってたと思う。
Over here and
いや BB ずるいな。
map number 1. The game is still going, so it hasn't come to a conclusion just yet.
Sounds like things are going really
立て
poorly
きた。
for Dark Zero, though.
Yeah, they're losing right now, but they're starting to mount a comeback apparently, according to
まあいい打ち込みだよ。
Okay. Well, I'm sure that's a great game. VP hoping to
You
repeat
sounded
that.
so insincere.
No, I do hope it's a great game.
Wow, I hope that's a good game.
No, I hope it's a great game.
There
Oh,
you
this game is good too, though, Parker. I
This
mean,
game
VP
is good. I'm enjoying this.
It's been good. This second map, I want to see more out of Virtus Pro. I won't lie to you, though. These attacks need to be better on the top floor, and now is their last chance to prove it.
This is a very, very slow skyscraper. Even by skyscraper standards, this is quite slow. And you're not going to get the angle on that. You are too experienced. So
The
always,
nade will.
yes. There you go.
Never mind.
That
Tucked
nade also
in.
didn't get the mute jammer.
Oh boy, nades are hard, man. I mean, without being able to cook them, it's tricky to
なんで
cure.
2個な
So
の
you should see a pro player trying to nade a castle.
Nice kill from Dan to start off this round.
いい見
Virtus
方する
Pro
ね、ダンさんはやっ
have
ぱ
an
り。
opportunity to end this in 2 maps, but they've got to be better on attack than what we've seen so far. They almost get Vidiking in this position as he's forced to back up, staring at that balcony door on the top of back stairs. It is very challenging for FaZe Clan to deal with this Blackbeard. They've had some struggles against this op, quite pronounced, in fact, for the last couple rounds. And why not? I mean, Virtus Pro is going to
いやエリア取るのがうまいね。お手本だよ、お手本。本当にお手本。綺麗に取ってくもんな。これでもう祭壇、下の階段、入りが取れてるからね。だからカラオケがどかせないときついってだけだけど、犠牲は敷いたが、これでカラオケまで取れたでしょ。
They take 2, they lose 2. No team closer, but Souls is here on the flank. Nitro shot will go off. He should be able to catch Joystick off guard as he's looking the wrong way. Nice flick from
吸い付くようなフリックない。
Diffuser was going down. Pasha peels off of it. It's him and Shepard. As now the Blitz will be in hot pursuit down below to find Souls. Pistol out, but a scary predicament. Pasha with 10 seconds left needs to get that diffuser back up there. Down goes the Goyo, and he secures it. A swing down from Shepard, who stays alive for the time being. 2 seconds left. Pasha very vulnerable. A swing from Geisha, and FaZe will do it again. The defuse does go down, but the kill
落ち着いてるな今の。
bit of game. They M80.
今やっぱソウルズの取り返しが秀逸だったね。結構エリア取られきって自利品だったからもう強引にやっぱリテイクで取り返しに行ったよね。あのあたりのやっぱ勇気あるプレーがバータスプロに対しては必要なんだよな。受け入れるとマジで強いからなこのチーム。受け入れる状況を極力なくすしかないよね。
Set up on the Geisha wall. This is not going to be counterable, or this is going to be easily countered, I should say, by the ace of Shepard, which is now coming out. The pressure is mounting. A Blackbeard and a Clash both meet the server.
This reticle.
Dan loves it.
I know Dan loves it, and it works for him. Saw some people on Reddit being like, "Oh,
このレティクル好きじゃねえっつってたな今。
You should.
Go ahead. Try it.
Give her a go. Cybertruck it up.
No. Slowly but surely, Virtus Pro is picking away at this bomb site, or rather over top of these defenders, as the bomb site is on the other side of the map. They're picking away at Geisha, pushing these defenders out of their spot, and As it stands right now, the big focal point is going to be Cyber on the Clash, Jesse. This Joystick wanting this engagement on Davidiking. This happened before, if you recall. Joystick opted not to go for this position. Flashbangs galore have gone up those main stairs, and right now, neither of these teams have really lost or wagered.
十分じゃない？
Make the call, guys. We've wasted
残り5分、5人生存で1分20秒まで耐えるっすもんな。
We like our chances on
十分すぎるやろ、こ
Can't
れ。
say I disagree. Pushing 5v5 into this site with a clash on the board, plus Gersmont mines coming through from the Ella. You're going to be walking into frost mats if you're not careful. Mirror window in sight. You'll get the man advantage thanks to KDS so kindly donating his body to science.
いやまあ、現地にこもるから、縦に広がり直したいっていう心理はあるから、まさにジョイスティックそれを読み切ったよな。今ドラムと竜のライン捨てたからさ、狭すぎるんだよね。5人でエリア守るには。だから1人1回に広がりたかったんだけど、まさかの下ロックっていう。ただちょっときついぞこれ。クロスが組めてないからバードスポットしてる。そうだよね。階段の流れで変化つけたかったんだけど。ビタキン今間合いで仕掛けるね。
FaZe Clan racking it up on the score sheet. That's gotta be it for Skyscraper as FaZe Clan
ビタキンのこれうますぎじゃない？でもクイックピンクしてるわけじゃないんだよな。AD クイックしてるだけなんだよな。いや防衛強し、さすがフェイズ。このレベルのチームのクラブハウスはマジでもうやばいレベルだろ。
Talking earlier today with the LXG guys, if memory serves correctly, about how no, it was actually the Shopify Rebellion guys. But when Glaz used to be able to shoot through the castle barricades,
oh yeah,
just to leave those little bullet holes through it. Those were that was fun. That was fun.
今の怖すぎだろその決め打ち。
Definitely bring that back.
Yeah, let's re-add bullet holes. Great.
何を根拠に今決め打ったんだ。
Dan staying alive thanks to these to the shield in front of his face here on the Blackbeard. Vidiking not so lucky, taken down. He was trying to make it back to the site.
全てにおいて無駄がない。
Back through secret, but instead on the rappel, Shepard will cut him off. A rare entry frag from the hard support player of Virtus Pro. That's going to be a very successful roam clear. 90 seconds it took you. You got a pick. You're going to have good utils still for the execute with a lot of hard breachers up, and of course those Sens walls. You're going to be a little bit worried about the Goyo canisters, and this Solus might throw away ranks into plans too, but for now, I think they're looking pretty.
They're definitely in a very good spot at the moment, and they're doing all right on the time. If you look at Virtus Pro's
1分10秒で走行ハッチか。だいぶ時間ないね。
early rounds
ちょっと遅い。
of VP on attack on Bank. Drone economy is pretty good. 1 minute to go and 5 drones still upright means Virtus Pro can maneuver them into
インパクト過激するのだ。するのだじゃない。するんだ。あ、これなかった。あ、ナイス。いや、これキッチン壊れなかったらマジででかい。キッチン壊れてないの分かってないんじゃないかな。
Cyber with the shotgun main stairs manages to escape. How? Not punished as he gets all the way back, and the Goyo canister covers his escape.
An opportunity lost at the moment for Virtus Pro. Still, they are in control.
いやこれキッチン側に広がれてるからさ、キッチン下ね、武器庫側だいぶ有利だよな、フェイズ。いやもうここ行くしかないんだよな。ブルートの挟むしかないんだけど、結構地獄よこれ。今ガジェット勝ちだな。キッチンのハッチが落ちてたら話変わってたと思う。キッチンのハッチも選択肢に入ってたから。ちょっとやっぱ時間かかりすぎたね、バトスプロ。時間がかかるのがこのチームの弱点だからな。
1 kill back a Souls who's in second and 3 kills back a Handy who's in first. Handy having a 14 kill game on Skyscraper, but Joystick simply has to be better. 11 kills for Joystick as he sits at the bottom. The only player in the lobby that's currently doing worse than Joystick is KDS. And again, KDS plays on a completely different role.
Joystick once upon a time known as maybe the greatest player in the world, but obviously drone career. Yeah, drone hole plus the Mav. You gotta watch out for that. long career, he's not really been that star fragger that he's
サイバーこういうポカがあるから
been
な。
up there 26 already, close to one of the
これが
oldest
なければ
players
かな
at
り
this
安定
tournament.
するのにね。
Absurd, by the way. 26 years of age, and he's basically in the senior zone. We already did this bit where we're like the oldest creature humanly alive. It's a wonder that they can walk.
I mean, listen, he is for esports, he's getting up there. So obviously would love to walk home with a hammer. Currently, he holds the record for the most SI Grand Finals losses in history from at least any team.
It's 2?
It's 2. Still, though,
Not very much.
that's crazy. It happened twice. If I had a nickel,
You'd have 2 of them. Of course, the loss for Virtus Pro came when they were on Team Empire
Azami.
way back in the day.
いい時間稼
That
ぎ。
first best of 5 that we had at Plas Bell.
また一人少ないけど。
One, that was the
ライン
22
結構作れてるな。
coastline, if memory serves correctly. One of the most
was it.
memorable maps that we've had in the history of this
物流
game.
大
The
事。
actual best of 5 is not particularly memorable.
いやー、これビタキンの位置どかせないできついぞ。
was one of the ones that
こことの
happened
挟み込みができなくなっ
during
ちゃってるからね。
COVID, where it was TSM who beat
ここで
Virtus
キル
Pro.
拾ってもらうしかないわ、S マドで。
here comes the execute now with
めっちゃ走ってる。
35 seconds. The clock again going to be an issue, but they've got pings and a two-man
拾えた。
advantage is better than one.
They might have another, as now the Fenrir of KDS realizes that when you are down these numbers, you got to fire back. Goodbye, Vita King. Always with one handy on the board.
あれ？
First person for FaZe. He and
さすがに。
KDS can strike each.
The outdoor good drone.
やっぱ S マドでキル拾えないとと思ったけど、やっぱ S マド、あのシーン覚えてるわ。
That same
まあ、あれが効いてるね。カワハイブが効いてたね。
drones be damned, they would just charge into the bomb site and take no prisoners. Well, that team is not here anymore. They just simply either they don't have the gun skill to pull it off, or their opponents have improved, or the game has gotten away from them. VP has
出た。
6 drones still
事前
remaining
と
with
か
2
し。
minutes on the board, so they can gain
さあ、
some
うまくいくのか。
information if they so choose. But who has those drones? That's the question.
This is a cool play from Dan, so they don't have a buck or anything, so they will preemptively destroy the soft part of this wall.
チェックしてる。
And then that
ダン
allows
がチ
the
ェックしてる。
Maverick to
よ
fully
し、
open
漏れはない
this.
ぞ。
This leaves Dan with the DMR able to just watch the angles, protect Shepard as he goes for the opening of the wall.
魔法のように消える
Just
か
pops right open. Parker, no problems whatsoever.
Vanish. A disappearing wall. What a
ら。止められた。
And
ま
then
ずい。
Dan, still from platform, can start working with these Brava drones. Now it will get stunned, and this
これを
camera
壊
can
しに来ないって
thoroughly
ことは
stun that
金庫階
drone.
段にいないぞって
Keep
こと
it
は分かって
locked
んじゃん。
down, although he missed the timing, so that's going to be gone.
They still hold control of that camera, by the way. The clutch
do.
drone has not been able to
金
take
庫階
it
段い
over
たけど。
just yet. How will they tackle
出
KDS
た。
up on
これもうピークできないぞ。
Raptors?
よく今
Look
覗
like
いた
always
な。
with one dispatch to do just that as the smoke will linger. I beg teams to just sit and wait, by
う
the
わ、いい
way.
フラグ。
It is immensely
うまっ
frustrating that they don't let the gadget recharge. We finally see it
完
happen.
璧な
The hands
コラ
of
ボレーション。
always, and KDS is punished. Cyber down below an oil pit. He thinks he's
惜しかったな。だからサイバーやっぱなんかポカ多いなやっぱ。今の勝ってたら話全然変わってたのに。
You now need to get a bit more forward facing.
後ろ警戒されやすいタイミングで行ったよな。
Lest you get run over.
Only 2
すげえ
guns up.
3人で外。
Goes down.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful smoke tossed out, by the way. It perfectly lands.
あ、残り30秒か。
Voistick walking up red could be
ガスグレード2つ残ってる。
play. They're gonna pinch this
あれ？
guy.
Always is there as well. They coordinate so effectively. Always gets the kill, and Vita King goes for 2. Knocked on over. Souls is the last man
いや、壁
standing.
抜き
He
ずる。
puts the shield away on his shoulders like he's carried the team many times before. Target prioritization over towards red, having to care about where the diffuser goes. Working his way towards the breach.
あららら
Didn't
ら。
need to clear straight to the decent situation.
We
全体的な戦術で押されてるね。
only a
最
couple
も
rounds
フェーズが
separating
得意とする土俵で。
and defense. That means a couple things. The operator bans will have a very big impact as to how a team will be able to defend and attack certain bomb sites. The way that certain teams play, if they're very aggressive, if they're quick to take map control, whether they're a bit more slow and methodical, will defenders
こういう関係なかったけど
play
ね、
more
バ
of a
ダスト
turtle
今ま
setup?
で。
All of these things will factor in. We won't really know what clubhouse we're looking at until we get
今の
later
ロー
into
カロン
the
グ
rounds.
の
One thing
展
I
開
will
方
tell
シー
you
ル
is
懐かしす
Souls
ぎ
is
る。
all the way over inside a dirt tunnel, and he's just looking to Electroclaw and keep those walls intact.
You saw the electricity, you saw the TCSG. It happens, eh? Bandit batteries. keeping things closed. I'm gonna be honest with you, Parker. We're not gonna get the kill for another 60 seconds here. VP's pace. They're just taking his top floor control. FaZe are happy to give it to him. Honestly, I mean, with the knowledge with how VP have been playing, they can keep this one tidy. Bulletproof camera using that zap ability to stop the Flores drone from Shepard. There will be more of those trying to accomplish the same task. Bandit battery got cleared off, and so now they can start coming down. But inside a dirt tunnel.
I think they're expecting a very heavy shield push with an escort through dirt tunnel. That's why there's been such an extension on the side of FaZe Clan. 2 Goyo canisters, bandit batteries, electric claw, and an active player down there. That is a huge investment. The reason why you're looking at me like that?
Just electric claw again.
いや、きつい。
I said multiple things.
Okay.
BB 強すぎだな、やっ
That's
ぱ
going to be the focus for VP. 45 seconds. They've got the grim information. This could be exactly what they need to crack it open, but they've got to go fast.
It's not really the name of the game for Virtus Pro, by the way. We just hit the 60-second mark since you last spoke about this kill. KDS will be the first line of defense over towards blue.
いやー、KDS ゲロきつだぞ、これ。
He takes matters into his
ウ
own
ォーデン
hands.
だから任された。
Shepard died. Pasha's on the ground. Joystick is gone. Always stands alone.
ジョイスティックなんで今引いたの？
Half of the server clears out. 4 of those
ここは硬いフェーズ見せて
on
る。
the side of VP. We talked about this matchup not getting away from FaZe Clan, and it doesn't look like that's the case. Always with a single pick, but there's 3 more to be found. At this point, he's just playing for love of the game because he's not going to win the round. These teams will tie it up.
They imagined that there was an electro claw there, and they decided we got to. I thought that but I can't doing anything. They're
早めに切ったね。この負けたら敗退の
Twitch drones.
緊張感のあるサードマップで。
gadget ops, and then you've got Ace and Thermite to boot.
コーチ光ってたよな。
also functions
今大会。
as an anti-gadget op. So lots of tools to open up this jacuzzi wall. Lots of tools to clear out the bomb site. Deal with the Goyo canisters. Deal with the goo mines. Deal with those F-Knots.
さあ耐えられるか。クラブハウス今防衛の方が難しい。
Jack has instructed his team to go for a different style of push this time. They are focusing on the jacuzzi, but that doesn't mean that they're not also concerned with the cache side of the map. That will also get opened up. The mute jammers were the only thing brought to keep these walls closed, and they don't seem to be having much of an impact. VP are getting everything open with pretty good timing. Still, all players will rotate over towards CC and start working in cache. It is not being held by FaZe Clan.
So Souls, Cyber, and KDS are hanging on to utility.
ここまでバーダス
I
プロの
think the
得意
reason for
分
this,
野。
Jesse, as we hit the halfway point of the round, is to wait to see where this execute is going to come from. At this point in time, Virtus Pro really have their dealer's choice. They could go through Logi, they could go through Jacuzzi, they could fight inside of Construction. That's where Joystick is right now. I like this from FaZe Clan as an answer back. Tools are being brought effectively by VP. Joystick dies inside of Cons. KDS goes unaccounted for in logistics, and now he'll lose the safety and comfort of the wall as it opens up ever so slightly. He was looking for a pick over towards Cash, but Virtus Pro will give him absolutely nothing.
また順調に。
Oh man, advantage.
先
60
に
seconds.
下に
VP,
広が
their
ってるの
worst shot yet on the top floor.
The reason why he
エスマの車線管理もうめ
Yeah,
っ
but
ちゃむずい
immediately
よ
Souls just
な。
gives up his life. Dan on the window. That's a tough one.
They did the exact same thing with the Nitro Cell in the same spot, same part of the map, except the difference was he was behind the couch. Cyber dies. I hope he put down that one Goyo canister, or else it will die in pocket. Vidiking going up to the windows. Dan doesn't see him coming. KDS killed from the hatch. Logi control should be there for VP. But
マジビタキング何言ってんのか分かんないぐらい精度が高い。
Handy grabs one on Jacuzzi, as now it's all up to Shepard. Miles away from that breach, but FaZe Clan are giving VP a back. Handy with the
and maybe one well. It could be a safety
thing. Opening
まあでも防衛で4本は取りたいよな。
Waving were able to start off a round. Of the 12 rounds played on Bank, Virtus Pro won the map 7-5, and they also won the opening duels 7-5. It was not a neat coincidence. They were not able to get a round that they got the first blood in every single time. 11 rounds were played on Skyscraper. FaZe got first blood only 3 times. 8 first bloods for Virtus.pro here on Clubhouse through 5 rounds. Virtus.pro has 3 first bloods to 2 for FaZe Clan.
監視金庫の
VP
枚
are
数強い
doing
んだよ
an
な。
all right job, to say the least, of getting this first pick. But their
いや、
sluggish
グラズってやっぱこうやって見ると改めて強えよ
especially the
な。
late round is costing them. So you get the opening pick, and then what do you do with it? That's the question that Virtus.pro needs to answer. They got the opening pick again in this round. Literally while I was talking about it. Always takes care of
懐
KDS.
かしいな、あ
That was the
の
pulse
いい
on
ビ
the
デオ。
run on the Raptors in garage.
うわ
Oh, and he almost gets another.
Not quite though. Handy better on the swing. Wasn't
う
expecting
ま
it.
すぎる。でもガレージ取られちゃうんだよ
Evilized
ね。
inside of Raptors, of course, inside of site late. First one
ガ
gets
レージ
naded.
取られるのきついね
Gotta。be Pasha who's taking this Raptors control. There's still barbed wire on those stairs that you'll have to deal with. Soul's over towards blue. He's going to be a late round threat, but they should know of his existence, or at least suspect it with that drone from
うわ、これ
Shepard.
入れ違いになるのか。
Kind of at the wrong time, but thankfully always from the grave can continue on watching it. There's still a player down there though, and I don't think Joystick has any idea.
He's literally looking right at.
Okay, well maybe
い
he
や
has
ー、
a
ガジェット
bit
と
of
か
an
使ってアクション
idea.
した後は絶対警戒するよね。下が間に合った。
He did not have an idea.
上が取られた。
Again, we get forced out of the bomb site. 3-3. FaZe
あー、で
have
も
done
階段
better
ポジ
job of
リポジショニングされ
maintaining
た。
equal man count. Way better than we saw in the third
あー、シェパー
round.
ドが下のケア
In
行って
this
るけど。
3-3, can they close things
さあ
out
ソウル
and
ズの
use
原因を追
toxic
ってる
baits
わ
to。stall?
Red control is so pivotal at the moment. Pashik with diffuser
止めれるのか
in a good spot.
あー
So my Souls up a little bit too close for comfort. Dan finds his second. It's Dan and Shepard against Handy and Vidaking. Final round of this first half on the line. FaZe Clan hoping to go up 4-2 through the first half. Set themselves up real nice, real pretty for the
ハン
second
ディ苦
half.
しい。
Handy still has one Toxic Babe as Dan will now fall far enough back. Toxic Babe goes
いや、やり
out,
きれないんじゃない
misses at this
No.
point. Shepard can stick
Nah,
this. The swing
Rokuga.
is good though from
う
Handy.
まい
And he does it both. Handy has been
いやー、
so
攻めどころをね。
You know, get that pick. That
攻めどころがうますぎだよな、今のも。
Why is VP not putting somebody to keep an
普通
eye on red stairs? Souls was
どういう
all the
状
way
況
up
がわかんないから、プラントの
almost at the breach.
完了きっかけに一気に仕掛けるとかわかるんだけど、その前にもう、味方が間に合ってたから行ったもんな、今。
It was just too much for them to overcome.
うますぎ。
Not gonna believe this, Parker, but
Handy
there's no
はうま
roam
すぎ。
game from Virtus.pro, which
7-3
means we are likely to have another slow round on our hands. FaZe Clan, they're not that much different from their Russian counterparts. They do like to take things steady, but Joystick,
What did you say about roaming?
I may have miscalculated you, Joystick.
Doing a lot of speaking for Joystick over the last 2 rounds.
My apologies.
Wrong in both instances. Thank you for apologizing.
Well,
Joystick accepts.
Let's see what he can do with it. Gonna walk up garage. Gonna be a while before he
さあ、
finds
来ました
anybody if he rotates through that whole top floor, but
ファマ
that's
ス。
okay. He's got
サイバーの
time.
ファマス
Minute
来ま
40
した
and。FaZe Clan in
普
no
通の
hurry to get this push underway.
いや、これジョイスティック間
At
に
the
合う
moment,
の
not a single FaZe member is on the top floor.
Very limited hard breach here, by the way. They're just looking for hatches to open up.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hibana is the sole hard breacher. The only denial that you see on the side of VP is the mute. So don't really need to bring anything to deal with Bandit or a Kaid. Kaid, of course, is banned in this particular map. So
I think this flank's gonna get a lot of kills, Parker.
ほんとじっ
Joystick
く
has
り
been around
エリア
the
取ってくる
world,
な。
Jesse. He
Yes,
has
he
run
has.
around the entire map. Seek some
間に合った
safe
ジョイスティック。
harbor. He finds Cyber. He hears the buck not far removed.
いや、もう構う時間
Blitz
が
will
ない。
likely be next in line as Handy will also go for a ride. They are
もうダッシュ。
chasing each other down. Cue the yakety sax music.
ADS for the cutoff, though. Surely he gets this.
40 seconds to go. He does indeed.
でも
And
時間が。
immediately they will need to pivot. Shepard
あれ
and Souls will trade kills on the bomb site as now
あ
Dan is
ー、こ
bleeding
の間
out.
にキッチンハッチ行ったん
Pasha
だ
under。watch from Grimm's gadgetry means Shepard is last alive. FaZe only
気がつけば
need a single
3v1
kill to take the first round of this
クラブハウスの
second
攻
half.
撃うますぎだろ、こ
And
れ。
Shepard has to worry
あ
about
れ
the shield that breathes down his neck. And
いやー、でも、
away.
片鱗出てるな、やっぱこの辺りから優勝した理由が出てるね。
Not only that,
今のその柔軟な対応すごかったな。遊撃行ってる間
come
に、
back.
The Spider-Man
遊撃にかまってる
Spider-Man.
枚数がジョイスティックによって報告されるんだけ
Some
ど、
aggression attempted by VP.
その報告よりが
Maybe that's what we discussed
前
in the
に
attack timeout.
もう
What
キ
can
ッ
they
チン
do
ハッチから
to
勝負
disrupt
仕掛けてたも
FaZe
ん
Clan
な。
before they get to that execute part of the
うますぎ
round.
るね。
So far, nothing. They hold on to control of Cash. They've got a clash in here being played by Always. So there's no map control really being held by FaZe Clan, but a lot of what they've wanted hasn't been disrupted. They're working on the Jacuzzi breach now. They managed to open up the con single wall as well. Maybe they can punish here. If they can find the toes of Cyber, that'd be a big pick, but
いやーこれ無力化できてない。
Cyber
ま
makes
ずい
the
よソウルズ。
escape.
It's out of that position and gonna have to go on the upside
あ、ソウル
down
じゃなかった。
bell. To be completely honest, I don't know why more teams just don't do
サイ
that
バーさん。
outright. I mean, you're inviting
サイバーさん
trouble,
下手
but
す
you're
ぎん
just
か。
standing still, and time again, we see somebody standing still and they get picked away at. Cyber's just very lucky that the gun's recoil was
あ
hard to
あ、
control.
発注ね。これも発注
The
の方
most
車線有利だわ。
impactful player and the highest rated player in the entire lobby has
無
been
力化できてないぞ。
Handy. One half of that
何してんの？
brother rivalry, the other one over on Furia named Nade. Handy has been absolutely superb through this best of 3. 29 kills across all 3 maps, which is quite the tally. He's the first one to die. Virtus.pro with a big win. They lose always on the class.
サイバー車線で解決。
That is a devastating operator
こういう
to
アビリ
lose
ティでテク
first.
ニックは見せられないけ
They
ど。
almost lost Dan earlier too. VP fighting for their lives at this point, but oh my, they might be living on borrowed time, Jesse. What do you do? Who do you pick here? Who do you pick here?
Uh-oh.
天才すぎるなそれ。
It was a great drone coming through, spotted the
一回
info
行
on
か
the
なかった
Shepherd
もん
here.
ね。
Jam got that position confirmed. They
めちゃく
worked
ちゃ音
together
立
to
てて
clean
吸
up
って
that
たも
kill.
ん
They've
な。
got the time to do this because
気がつけば
Cash didn't
ほ
take
ぼ一
that
人
long.
人数優位。
Now they've got a man advantage. Now
あ
they're
んなに
looking
監
at
視
the
の
site.
補強壁うまく壊せなかっ
Match
たの。
point will await them if they can win this round.
これ筋トレ
Soul
い
still
けんじゃない？
outside with diffuser in hand. He's looking for good coverage. Cyber with a kill, 2 kills in fact through this round. We talked about the flailing and aging fragger as well.
強っ！
Cyber, eat your heart out. KDS, but it,
Team have been just
やっぱりラウンドの応用力がだいぶ出てるね。サイバーコーナーきっちり仕事し
when you
た。
go from 16 down to 8, there's gonna be some good teams that go. Honestly, if these teams didn't want to be in this position, I know it sounds a little simplistic, but you shouldn't have found yourself in the lower bracket in the first place. FaZe Clan got here earlier today, Jesse, by pummeling Team Liquid. Liquid having a very quiet and relatively disappointing event.
they're not out of it yet. Always in a Raptors power position to start off this round. He's going to be the point of contact. Cyber from the breach is holding across.
まあベタランキング言うな。
Always knows just how tough this
でも
position
今
is.
綺麗に
That's
分け
why
てた
he's
か
got
ら、
Phoebus to protect him.
真ん
That's
中
why
開
he's
け
got
した
that
時
Goyo
に
canister on the stairs too.
欲張って真ん中開けしたから
Keeping
ダメだった
slow
の。
and
真ん中開け
steady.
難しい
All
か
as
ら。
much time as he can. He's thinking about popping it, but nobody is nearby. As soon as that Blackbeard starts to make his way up.
いいフラグ。完
Always in a
璧。
terrible and unwinnable spot, Jesse.
車線とフラグ完璧すぎ
Down he
る。
goes. 4 remain
踊ってたね、
for Virtus.pro.
相手が。
FaZe have a golden opportunity. The least
うん
competitive
やっぱ
of
投
all
げ物
three
防
maps
止で
so
なん
far.
とか
We
するし
really
かな
wanted
いよ
best of 3,
な。
and I gotta say,
いくらスタンが
I
少なく
kind
な
of
った
wish
と
it
はい
went
え。
the opposite order.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that this one was
い
won
やー
by
もう
the
ガレー
team
ジ
that
取れちゃって
Bank
盤
has
石ですよ。
decided
こ
with how
れ
close
バ
it
コーンさ
was.
れ
I
る
don't
でしょ。
care which team wins. I just wanted a relatively good series, and it's been a good series up to this point, but FaZe has dominated
フ
here.
ラグも残ってて。
VP have unfortunately looked worse
やらか
every
した。
single map, and that just might turn around.
KDS
They
今なんでや
answer
られた？
one with Dan finding KDS, but this is going to be the moment. With the Goyo canisters burning out, they won't have
カレー
enough
パン
time
さ
to
んもこんばん
stall
はです。
completely. Posh has got the toxic babes. That could be the difference maker, and another down on Nvidia King.
It's very winnable for Virtus.pro.
いや
All
これ
comebacks
攻
begin
撃側が
with
抜くの
a
不可能だ
single
ろう。
round. Nvidia King at this point, maybe not reachable by Handy. Souls was stepping up to see if he could assist and provide some aid.
いやーああいう接戦多すぎ
The
る。
King now retrieved with 25 seconds left. Joystick here's one over towards red.
My.
Trying to be pounced upon by the breach. They fail. Joystick now holding it down as he evades the flash. Dan long range with a kill. It's all
いや
up
俺
to
これ
Handy
結構
and Soul.
KDS がやらかしたと思うけど
Handy with the diffuser in the
な。
midst of the toxic plume. Now it's Soul's
だって
turn
KDS
to
あそ
break
こ
into
さ
the
無理
site.
しなければ
Finding
さ
kills that don't
フラントまで
matter,
確実にいけたからね。
but still look good.
Moved before
これで負けてたら結構 KDS のせいになってた。
lock
結構今
things down on our
先般級のやらかし
own
だった。
game. It is not really that extended, of course. He's got the fallback pretty close by. He
いや
doesn't
足
wanna
元
be
開いちゃってたんだけど、あそこでぼったちする必要1ミリもなかったんだよ
Jesse, here's
な。
another fun fact for
棚の
you.
裏に隠れてもよかったし。
Virtus.pro still
情報
very
取るんだ
much
ったら
in the
体出しちゃ
lead
ダメ
when
だ
it
ろ。
comes to opening duels. We have completed 9 rounds. Virtus.pro have drawn first blood 6 of those times. FaZe Clan have done it 3. For the 3rd map in a row, Virtus Pro have been the unquestionably better team at getting picked number 1. But it's
いや、しかも結構さっき BB 重要だったんだよね。亀設置できたらさ、ニトロセルの飛び方によっては背中で受け入れた可能性高かったから、プラントの通る確率高かったのに、完全にやらかしてた。
First person to get a kill wins the round.
First kill wins? Like, good God, imagine being an anchor player. You just never fight anyone.
Easiest job in the world. King
とはいえ
George.
6-3だからな。
Minute 30,
圧倒的
halfway through
有利
the
は
round, and of
FaZe.
course, nobody is dead. I don't think we've had a single kill before the minute 30 mark through this whole map. I'm sure we have at some point, but like, it doesn't feel like it.
Only 3 times have we had a kill happen before the 1 minute and 30 mark, and 2 of those happened in rounds 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah.
So it's been a long time.
Well, doesn't mean we won't get an explosive finish. Once again, everything on the line for FaZe Clan. Blue is going to be a focus for them. They toss in a flash, but it's not a commitment just yet. Diffuse Kid is over towards Blue too if they want to, but Moto is another option.
You just see that drone. Deep inside the bomb site, getting information on 3 of these players on the side of VP. Always has to trudge through the fire. Are you kidding me? He gets 1 pick. King was on the hatch, so he's there for insurance. As Blue is right now where Virtus Pro will look to bury FaZe Clan. An advantage for the Russians as King and Cyber.
その段のセンスよ。
30 seconds left. King softening up these defenders, but not finding a kill. Right now, they're just slipping through FaZe's hands like sand through an apple.
めっちゃ守るやん。
Vibrant Joystick, by the way, still at the bottom of the standings in this contest. Joystick's numbers have been abysmal by just about every metric. Virtus Pro is basically dragging him to the finish line at the moment, providing that VP even makes it there. Right now, this is still very much FaZe's match, and despite the fact that Virtus Pro have won the last 2 rounds, there's no given that that will give you momentum moving forward. FaZe Clan could literally read into this perfectly, rush into the bomb site, get 5 kills in the span of 5 seconds, and that's the match.
さっきの段のピークなんでタイミングじゃないもんな、明らかに。あれ完全にリロードして、一回味方と合わせるタイミング取るだろうなっていう完全な読みだもんな。どうやったらあの読みを培えるんだけど。あれはセンスじゃないじゃん。経験策にのっとったら行動だから。そこまでやり込めばいいのかね、シージ。3万時間ぐらいやればいい。
It's not a big deal, but does it matter? All 5 players are on Jacuzzi Breach.
They might just sprint on in. Looking for a vault. First domino to fall, maybe, as Dan is punished.
優先順位シャワーが秀逸なんだよな。
Neither team with a lead at the moment. Pasha answers right back. Pasha with 3 huge kills in this position. That's the problem for FaZe when you stack up. King tells him to take a seat. As he drops the hammer on Pasha. Still an advantage for Virtus Pro. I suspect there will be a bit of calm as there's still time to go. Just under 1 minute. Andy will look for a kill on the defender. He finds it. Virtus Pro peeks that angle, not expecting what comes next. Last 2 players both off site.
だね、これ、あれなんだよな。同じ方向から入っちゃってるから。かなりむずいんだよな。
We're both inside a bathroom. King taking some damage. He's got the read, but not the kill. Shepard is there, as solid and dependable as ever. And now
防弾カメラあるからか。
in the midst of the site, we'll have to pick up that diffuser.
防弾カメラ相当効いてるね。
But where are you going to plant? You are so exposed.
これもね、防弾カメラで見られちゃ
Both
ってる。
players from VP will rush on in. Handy amidst the fire gets 1. All he needs to do is find Shepard, and the round is FaZe. The matchup would go in their favor. Shepard sees him though and says, "Not today."
今の奥まで行き切ってよかった気するけどな、あの鉄板裏。なんで奥まで行かなかった？わからなくなってきています。相手の気持ちになりきれてるから行動が透けて見るのは、それすごいコメントだね。いかに相手の気持ちになるか。クレパピが上手くなるコツは、もう相手の嫌なことをベストのタイミングでやり続けられるかってずっと言ってたの。 それはもうなんかプロの秘訣だみたいなことを教えてくれてさ、
Same state, different city.
俺自分のやりたいことしか考えないから全然 CG うまくならないんだろうね。
A contest here that they might not have expected. Feels like we're back on Skyscraper with how slow this is. Dan is the very first casualty. For Virtus Pro fans, what tragedy this would be if a comeback got this close but ultimately failed to materialize.
It's like keep a barrier fortress up on rafters. Can they nade it out? Blackbeard, perfect information. More angles coming down. He just jumps it, partner.
いやー、ここのガレージの2回の取り方完璧すぎんな、フェイズ。フラグで的確に相手に対して嫌なことやっていくもんな。あ、さっき失敗したこれパターン来たの？今度こそもうちょっと KDS さんちゃんとやんないと。そう、そこ絶対死んじゃダメだから、ね。ドーンとするじゃん。
And you have to swarm these remaining defenders. Now it's Joystick's turn to take an awful lot of damage.
いやもうこれ KDS さんのプラント待ったなしやん。あ、ビタキンかプランター。
Toxic Babe will miss. Overseeing the execute is KDS, and it will be a scramble for both of these teams.
絶望これは。
With the diffuser on the ground.
プラント位置分かってない。
Posh is gone, Joystick will fall, and that's going to be curtains for Virtus Pro unless Shepard can pull it off, but he cannot.
危なかったけど最後はまとめたね。最後は前回のラウンドの反省確実に生かしたね。うまいわ。いやでも片鱗がやっぱ見えてる、この辺りから優勝に向けた切り替えがめちゃくちゃうまい。マジで。なんかやっぱバータスプロが持ってなかったもう一枚どうするかみたいなところの引き出しだね。
They almost made that happen, Map 3, man. Virtus Pro, so close.
やっぱ苦しくなった時の引き出しだな。なんかバータスプロそれがないから、こっからこのチームマジでどう強くなるんだろうな。マジで謎。
Head in hands for VP.
フェイズみたいに堅実できつつ、それが行き詰まった時に柔軟にやっぱり対応できる CGIQ がない限りは、バータスプロが頂点に輝くビジョンは見えないけどな。どうするんだろうね。ちょっと今みたいなプラントの位置は若干のミスは見られるよな。両チームともまだ。
World champions on the same team, world champions on other teams. Virtus Pro are major champions.
やっぱ基礎能力が高い。というわけでね、この試合が結構長いことは承知してたので、まあちょっと今日配信のスタートも遅かったので、この辺りにしたいと思います。ということで、時間取れるときにコツコツとやっていきたいと思うので、引き続き、インビ、フェーズの優勝の奇跡までお付き合いください。CAG も振り返りたいんだけどね。いけるかどうか。先にあっち来ちゃうんだよな。チャレンジャーシリーズ。あれ、配信させてくれるかな？一応許可を今求めてるんだけど。そちらもね、配信できたら見ていきたいと思いますので、皆さんよかったらまた遊びに来てください。ぜひね、チャンネル登録、こちらのツイッチのチャンネルもフォローよろしくお願いします。それでは最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございました。また次回の配信でお会いしましょう。お疲れ様でした。